go.
BJ, I had no idea you were so skilled at macrame.
I wouldn't say skilled, but I dabbled in the 70s. My mom did macrame, picked up a few things.
The things I learned on tour with this guy.
Live long enough, eventually you do things.
You see a lot of crazy stuff too, and we saw one of our favorite crazy guys on the tour do quite well yesterday, which is why today's show is called Where There's a Will, There's a Way, with Jess and BJ. I say crazy lovingly because I think Will Failla would tell you he's a little crazy.
Yeah, we are talking about Will Failla, who came in late regged on day 1A.
Screamed upon arrival to let everyone know he was there.
Said he was going to take charge and take back his Player of the Year
Yeah,
lead.
in our Club WPT interview, he was Club WPT Player of the Day. He guaranteed, Joe Namath style, he will be back in the Player of the Year lead. And frankly, I believe him at this stage of the game because he is chip leader with 16 left.
Yeah, first 6 hands he played of this tournament, busted out 2 people, took the chip lead, has been near the top pretty much ever since.
Yeah, he kind of wavered there in the middle, but then yesterday against Fareed,
yes.
There was that giant pop where there was a million chips in the middle, and Will check shoved the river, right?
I don't remember the exact betting. We'll go with that.
So he moved all in on the river at some point, and Fareed had to think for quite a while.
They actually clashed a couple of times in...
on a double paired board, it seemed like Will had like an over full house, but we don't know for sure.
Anyway, Will Failla finishes the day with the chip lead. 16 players left, 8th or higher, and he will retake the lead in the WPT Player of the Year race. So he definitely seems like he's in the driver's seat. Joe Searock's lead at risk.
Hey, speaking of how many chips he had, we almost forgot to settle up.
No, we didn't. But yes, you won. I lost.
And since we both took the same side of the first 2 lines, I'm now up 1-0.
Yeah. Although I feel somewhat vindicated because on day 1A we picked players to watch in this tournament. You picked James Dempsey, who bubbled, had a rough day yesterday.
I was going to say it was something worth watching.
And I picked Will Failla, who's crushing with 16 players left. So a couple days ago I called it. I just didn't follow through on the over.
All right. Well, the over-under yesterday was what, 531,000, something like that?
I thought it was 335. Whatever. He's way above.
It was somewhere in the $500,000 range. I took the over.
515. There you go. 515. But today,
6.5.
moving away from Will Failla, we have Tony Dunst, still alive with 16 players left.
Which is giving production a little sweat because somebody's supposed to commentate the live stream.
Right. He not only does the Raw Deal segment on the TV show, he's lead commentator for the WPT live stream.
We had a double sweat too because Daryl Fish is the one scheduled to be in the booth and he busted in 24th place. So we know we will for sure have Daryl in the booth on Wednesday. Tony still
not sure yet. So the bookie wants to know. He sets the line at 6.5. Where will Tony Dunst finish? Does he make the televised final table, 6th or lower, or does he bust out today?
He has 459,000 chips.
Little below average, but 45 big blinds.
I'm sorry, Tony, I'm taking the over. I don't think he's gonna make it.
All right, I am Team WPT. I think Tony's got it in him. First final table, not as a commentator, but as a player.
You know, I think it'll be interesting if he does make it because then the quandary of who has a Florida gaming license and can come in the booth with Daryl will be up in the air. It's probably going to end up being the bookie because he's got that highlight parlor down in Pensacola.
Yeah, they'll find something. I don't know if the bookie wants to necessarily get the camera.
I think it would be great. Bookie could just set lines the whole final table.
All right, we should probably expand our little Player of the Year update.
Yeah, because we talked about Will, but he's not the only one that can do something.
2 other players can catch Searock, still alive with 16
Searock.
players left. Let's not get into that again.
Okay.
I'm stuck where I am.
It's
Sorry,
too late.
Joe
Sorry,
Searock.
Joe. Failla's in the best position. He really needs to just outlast half the remaining field, and he's got it because he needs 8th or better.
Right.
But Daniel Buzzgod is one that can take it with 3rd or better because he got 3rd at Borgata and he cashed in this Jacksonville non-televised event back in November.
Right, and Buzzcon had an amazing rush
Yeah, and
after
he's
dinner.
got 3rd in chips.
He was down to 99,000, all in a 3-way pot. After the flop, he was up against aces with 10s on like an 8-high board. On his way out the door, binked a 10 on the turn. Over the next hour, went from 99,000 to $1 million, contending for the chip lead. Finished the day 3rd in chips with 900,000.
Club WPT Player of the Day? as well.
Right, so if he can make this final table finish third, and Will doesn't, all of this is contending that Will does not.
Yeah, this is
Pass
existing
C-Rock.
in purely the vacuum
Right.
of Joe being the benchmark.
And then the last player who can catch C-Rock is day 1 chip leader, Darren Elias.
Now, Darren seemed like he would be in some good shape going into this one because he was chip leader day 1, he was second in chips day 2, and he was just chugging along on day 3.
Until late in the day.
Late in the day, he and David Tudhill got in a big pot where David Tudhill shoved the turn with on an ace-high board, top pair, and then that flush draw. Darren called with top 2 pair, and David River just flushed. So Darren is down to 262,000 and can only take the lead with a win.
Right, so it's going to take quite a comeback.
It's the longest shot of the 3 of them, but I mean, Tony was talking about him yesterday. Daryl was talking about him yesterday. Darren is just someone that elicits so much respect from his peers that I certainly wouldn't count him out.
Okay, we also had the money bubble yesterday.
Sort of.
And it went lickety-split. With 36 getting paid, we had 38 left.
Like, we looked up and we were like, whoa, there are 39 left. And then it was suddenly...
Well, in the course of 5 minutes, Brian Haas got crippled. One table over, James Dempsey got crippled, ran kings into aces. Then, minutes later, Brian Haas is eliminated. They say, okay, everybody finish the hand you're on, come to a stop. Dempsey's already in action. He's all in with 8s against ace-queen. Queen on the flop. Dempsey's out. The bubble technically never existed. There was no hand-for-hand play. Dempsey finished 37th.
Yeah, Dempsey bubbled, which he just had a bad day yesterday. Nothing was going his way. So I know how much he wanted it. I will say, James, you are Club WPT Player of the Day in our hearts.
He didn't want it in our hearts. He wanted
I know, he wanted the actual video. That's what he won at Bellagio. Maybe at the championship he'll have a great day there. And we can make it happen.
In addition to Club WPT Player of the Day, there was also a surfboard available.
Oh yeah, we gave out another prize.
For the deepest finishing under 21-year-old player, and for the first time in our Florida WPT history, it was a race. It went down to the final 3 tables.
We had 2 kids in the money.
Yes, we had Alan Perkel and Robert Gorodetsky. I may not be saying that Perkel right. Persal, apologies. Went all the way, he finished 21st. So with 21 players left, we still had 2 youngsters in the field. Robert Gorodetsky outlasted him, busted final minutes of the day.
He was the last elimination.
17th place, so he picked up a cash, picked up a surfboard, and I'm sure we're going to see Robert Gorodetsky again.
All right, well, we're going to be doling out lots more cash today as we get down to 16, from 16 to the televised
Final 6, which will include Tony, or not.
Maybe. We shall see. Good sweat for the day. So let's wrap things up with question of the day. Will Failla guaranteed he's taking this Player of the Year lead back? What is your favorite guarantee?
Favorite guarantee, totally changed dining for me. Domino's Pizza, 30 minutes or less in the 70s. Kind of really pushed
the limits of pizza delivery,
you know, to the forefront of people's minds of we're hungry, want something in a hurry.
Oh, I thought you were like going to say push the bounds of what you could do with pizza delivery, but I get what you're saying.
No, it helped popularize it that, hey, we can pick up the phone, have pizza in 30 minutes. Domino's Pizza, loved it.
I don't really know. I thought, and I just can't come up with a ton. The best I can come up with is that octopus that kept guaranteeing the World Cup picks a couple of years ago.
The octopus was guaranteeing World Cup picks?
Waved a tentacle, said, don't worry kids, I got it. Pick this one.
Yeah, see, I don't think that counts. Like a guarantee.
It's an octopus that picks soccer games. How can you not be impressed by this?
That's like Punxsutawney Phil, like Groundhog Day.
His track record is not nearly on par with that of the octopus.
It's not about track record. Animals can't make predictions. You kind of have to verbalize a prediction. Like waving a tentacle is not a prediction. He doesn't know what he's doing.
We draw arrows on the over-under making predictions without speaking. Why can't the octopus?
It's some guy sticking a flag and watching where an octopus leans.
And that octopus leans towards the winner.